Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'd like to talk about how we combine the frameworks of self-reflexive practice and user-centered design in building our first augmented guitar prototype. After the interview study with percussive fingerstyle players we presented in NIME last year, we set out to build a prototype inspired by participatory design methods to satisfy their request for greater dynamic range of hits on the body. However, the development of the first prototype was also influenced by my own practice as a percussive player. I was especially curious to see what an augmented guitar could do to my arrangement of the song Yoga by Björk. This made us experiment with sensors triggering larger-than-life electronic sounds. We built a guitar with 3 piezo discs mounted on the top, plus a string pickup. The piezos would be mixed together and serve as input to the bonk object in Max for Live. The object would detect a wrist hit and trigger a bass drum sound, whereas a hit with the fingers would produce a snare-like sound. We also made a setting that simply applies saturation, compression, and EQ to each sensor's audio. We involved 2 participants in a pilot evaluation study. The effectiveness of the EQ'd setting makes us reflect on the usefulness of the supposedly referenced design. Our EQ setting was found to be in itself a novel approach that was worthy of research. As researchers, we all feel the pressure towards technical advancement, and in pursuing that, we often overlook simpler, more established tools. We can see, however, that there is value in using familiar technology and exploring how that can open up new ways of performance, before or alongside the investigation into new tech. Overall, thanks to our blended approach, we are now aware that certain assumptions that came from my practice-based research aren't embraced by other players, for example, a requirement for more timbre variety in the sample triggering setting. On the other hand, my role as a player researcher during the study made changing the settings on the fly with the participants a lot easier. We are hopeful to see that this approach translates into wider acceptance of our design by the community of fingerstyle players, with future revisions of the prototype. Thank you for listening.